Hey everyone, welcome to Tuesday's Direct Joy. Happy lunchtime. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So this is Direct Joy, and Direct Joy comes straight to you from Cherie Joy, psychotherapist, psychologist, counsellor. So many titles to choose from, so many labels and so many opportunities for growth, so many ideas that we can work with as a therapist and what we have to offer. I say that because I'm at that kind of transient point at the moment of thinking about where's my business going? What am I doing? Setting up women's groups, setting up community therapy groups, setting up new ventures and, working with new clients. Wishing the best for clients that I've worked with for ages because they are taking the next step in their healing journey that I've, helped them on the way with and are leaving them to kind of fly the nest really. And it just feels like that stage. I love summer. Summer really gives us the opportunity to soak in and see the fruits of what life has been about. So and those transient times when things are changing, when the winds are blowing and moving away from the longest day of the year, which was yesterday, moving to those kind of balmy summer evenings where we get to see the sunset a lot more, and we get to hopefully, as the world opens up a bit more, spend even more time making wonderful memories with those that we love and those that we hang out with and those that we call tribe and those that we choose and those that we love. So family and friends, and for being blessed with both. So today is about, after that musing, today is about hobbies. What are hobbies about? What is this hobby thing that people talk about, and what does it mean to us, and how does that impact our well-being? And I was first struck by thinking about this psychologically and psychotherapeutically by one of my absolute favourite texts, which I've definitely referred to before, which is Freud's text on Dora, which on the surface of it talks very much about anxiety, because that's what Dora was presenting with when he met her on the side of a mountain. And excuse the background noise of someone moving their van. And when Freud met Dora and started talking about her anxiety and started a very brief therapeutic engagement, Dora was mainly about anxiety, but we can talk about anxiety until the cows come home, can't we? But let's think about where they were. They were on the side of a mountain. Freud was taking some time out. Freud was going for a hike. He was going for a walk. And they were both at one with nature. Dora had taken herself to that place to be at one with nature. And most hobbies are about being at one, be it finding that place of enjoyment, finding that place where we feel totally settled and happy and peaceful and exhilarated and that we're achieving something. So hobbies, I love them. I love the idea of a hobby. We don't tend to, that idea of what do you really want? People say, oh, I really want more money, or I really want more something or other. I always want more time. Time for me is something that if I could have anything, I'd have more time, because time gives us that sense that we can then be like, okay, I can do more. But actually, what's it like to be more? What would it be like if we chose a hobby that allowed us to be more us? I love that sense. So as you know, my main hobby is sailing, and I absolutely love it. I find it peaceful. It's my happy place. I find it exhilarating. It's a challenge, and it reduces anxiety. You can't really think about much else other than what the am I doing at this precise moment in time. And it provides social, it provides community, it provides something to talk about, it provides a passion. It definitely gives me something to spend my money on. And it allows me to be Cherie And that's something that I really want to talk about today. That's not being Cherie, but that sense of, in psychology and in psychotherapy, what is it about the therapy world that we see time and time and time again, that the more therapeutic work you do, and I don't necessarily mean professionally, but anything you do therapeutically means that you decide that that bit of time you get, that time where you stop the anxiety, or you maybe not stop, but move through. When you're able to move through a place of depression, when you're able to move through a place of anxiety, when you're able to move past some social anxiety, and I don't mean all of it completely, because, life is not perfect. But when you're able to move beyond that, you get more time. And when you get more time, can you offer that back to yourself? And can you do it in such a way that actually, oh, wow, I'm getting something more out of it? It feels to me like that moment when you go on a hike and you get to a ridge walk and you get there and you go, wow, I'm on a ridge. You're not necessarily at the top. This is not Monroe. This is not, you're not in that area, but you're on a ridge and you get to see where you're going, where you've been. And wow, that view, that transition. Very much like we're in at the moment, those transitional times of moving through, moving beyond, getting some space to go, wow. And, my other hobby being netball, that time and space that we get after a goal is scored and we're at the centre pass and we're ready. We're ready to defend, we're ready to attack, we're ready to score another goal, we're ready to defend another goal, and at the same time we're ready to just do everything all at the same time at super fast speed on our tiptoes. And I love that as metaphors for life. I love walking, I love netball, I love sailing, I love hanging out with my kids and doing crafts. What is it about the hobbies that you maybe don't have the opportunity to do at the moment that you might be able to invite yourself into a space of? Because when you can invite yourself into that space, it does shift up anxiety. It does present a place where depression gets a bit of a backseat for a little bit. Now, I'm not saying these are absolute cures, because they are things that we do, but they do give us the opportunity to be. And when we have that, we also have then the opportunity for choices. So, I talk about the three main things that I do, which are walking, sailing and netball. But what are the things that you have the opportunity to do? And, having children in tow, having a massive work life, they're all things that have an impact on the decisions that you're going to make. But it doesn't mean that you can't make those decisions, Legally, you're entitled to a lunch break. Okay, maybe not so much if you're a mother, because that was different. So let's come back to that. But, if you're at work, if you're working, in an office or in any kind of environment where you have to go to work, or you're working at home, you have the opportunity to have a break. So taking time for that break where you put your feet outside, and that might just be sitting on your front doorstep, but just outside, ideally in the grass, or ideally on the sand, or, being able to smell the fresh air, being able to listen to the birds sing, that could be something, a good habit that you commit to, that you eat your sandwiches, and maybe take a wander around the block, maybe take the scenic route. Taking that opportunity to introduce step by step, small steps, things that make you feel, okay, that's what I'm connected in with. And that sense of being, shifting it, transitioning it slightly to offer you the opportunity for some peace, offer you the opportunity for a little spark of something different, because that's what a hobby is, right? It's a little spark of something different. It's a little spark of passion. It's a little spark of something that only you can benefit from. With children in tow, as some of us do have, and sometimes with animals in tow, if you've got dogs, or anyone that's relying on you as a carer, it can be harder because time is therefore limited even more. So what is it, that you can get the children doing and you can spend some time doing as well. You know, what is it to get some mosaic work going? What is it to do some sewing, some cross stitch, something that can be applicable across the age group, some painting, some charcoal, even some chalk on the patio, even some chalk on the pavement. What's it like to give ourselves the opportunity to explore those hobbies, things that maybe we've forgotten about, things that are back there that actually we can say, okay, that's a spark there. And yeah, I think it's really important to give ourselves that opportunity. I know it's important to offer ourselves the opportunity. And as a therapist, I think it's really interesting that generally we work within the confines of four walls. During COVID, we haven't been able to do that, obviously, and I've taken to a lot more ecotherapy. And the opportunities for me in that are growing. The opportunities for me to run some collaborative women's groups across Hastings, Bexhill and Eastbourne is growing day by day. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. So if that excites you, if being around the fire, if spending time, not necessarily in group therapy, because that's not what we will be doing, but sharing time, finding tribe, being with a group of women, and finding where your being, your peace, your happiness, your sense of you really is, your sense of how your difference can be totally inclusive and give you that opportunity to shine your light extra bright in everything that you do, every role that you are, every role that you want to be, and yeah, finding that place to do some healing, be that one-to-one, be that in person, with COVID restrictions, obviously. I would love to hear from you. Direct Joy is mainly about questions, and it's about you telling me what you want to know about how you can better mobilise your emotional and mental health. Sometimes we touch on the really hard edge of trauma, anxiety, depression, self-harm, and those kind of things. And today we've touched on more hobbies and how we can find peace and happiness and move through some of these transient times with as much of ourselves and bring as much of ourselves as we can and find what we really, really, really need. Be that health, be that wealth, be that happiness. So today seems like a relatively short one, but I hope it gives you the opportunity to think about what choices you have, because when we're locked in that space where we feel like we have no choices, that is the darkest, and it's also the hardest to come through, and that's where we need our friends, that's where we need our tribe, that's where we need our family. That's where we can need the support of a therapist or a professional. It may not be me. If you like the sound of me, get in contact. If you would like to work with another therapist, get in contact too, because I have lots of people who work similarly and different to me in the networks that I have now across Surrey and Sussex, which is super exciting. So there we go. I will leave you on that note. Thank you for watching. It's great to see people live. It's great to get the likes. It's great to be growing too and having more likes. So share with friends and family. Check me out on Instagram, which is booming, and YouTube, and my website has got some changes coming as well. This is just, there's loads coming. So thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing your Tuesday lunchtime with me. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. And I look forward to sharing more. If you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you then. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.